Hey family, uh, just wanted to drop something on you real quick. Kind of been struggling to do this video, kind of trying to navigate through some emotional stuff. And it's about the times that we living in, and I'm not going to get all biblical on you and all that. But I think that we are living in one of the most selfish times in the history of mankind. And part of this has been spurred by the fact that, I guess they said until the fire hits your house, you really don't have respect for the heat. And in the last couple of days, I've had two people that I respect be diagnosed with the COVID-19, the coronavirus, and it kind of hit me hard, and it brought me back to one of the reasons I had pushed the video off, because it's really hitting a lot of older people all around. I mean, even if they don't have it, they're being affected by it because of the chaos and the calamity that's going on with the stores and different stuff. And seniors are really scared to go out, really, because I deal part of the ministry that I have. We deal with seniors, and we have a group of seniors that we deal with. We do different services for them and perform different services. And little remodeling and stuff for them. People who can't afford it, and it's just sickening how selfish people have gotten, and especially these people that we consider to be Christian have gotten really selfish and really crazy in this time. Just about 2 weeks ago, there's a guy, Mr. Patterson, and some of you, if you've seen some of my Facebook posts and follow me on Facebook, then you'll remember Mr. Patterson was the senior who had a tree fall on his house last year, and he was kind of desperate, and he approached me, and he had a sawzall, and he wanted me to help him get this tree moved off his house, and he told me, he said, I got another sawzall, and he said, I think you and I could get this tree cut and moved off my house if you help me. And when I went around the side of the house and saw the tree on the side of the house, the tree was about 36 inches wide. And I'm like, Mr. Patterson, that's not a sawzall tree, man. And he kind of got, a little bit set back. And he was like, he really believed that we could do that, and I really knew that we couldn't. He's 84 years old, 85, and I don't think he had the energy or the stamina to really even think about attacking that, even with chainsaws, really. But anyway, in dealing with him, I found out that he was a ex-veteran senior living on a limited income, very limited. When you talk about limited, this guy lives on a limited income, and after he pays his bills, he has about $81 a month. Well, I was making some calls 2 weeks ago and checking on the seniors that we deal with on a regular basis, because he's not really one of them. And I called. We have one of our seniors. She's blind, Miss Oldham. And I called her and, just check up on her and see how she was doing. She said, baby, I'm doing fine. She said, but Mr. Patterson called me and said that he wasn't doing so well. Well, I went to his house. I called him first and found out some of the things that he needed. And one of the things that he needed was toilet paper. And, I thought about just how selfish it was that people had went into the stores all over. This wasn't just... we wasn't just privy to this. All over, people that went into the stores and just bought almost everything, right? Not thinking that, there's some people that's disadvantaged, that can't get out as often as we can, us people who we call healthy. And he didn't have a lot of things, but I tell you, God is good because I called a friend of mine. I got a friend here, Anthony Beverly, and his wife had been appointed as one of the ambassadors in this community, and through United Way. And United Way gave her a certain amount of money to deal with just these type situations, but I didn't notice at the time. And I was really kind of reaching for straws because I knew it was going to be hard finding toilet paper. That's the main thing. The toilet paper was going to be really hard to find. So I called Anthony and I said, hey man, I told him about Mr. Patterson and this and that. And he said, hey man, my wife is doing exactly what you just said. He said, man, you don't have to take any money out of your ministry to go and do this. He said, my wife has money given to her by United Way, and she's one of the people chosen to do this. So his wife and I get together. We go to a couple of stores. We get the toilet paper and a whole lot of other stuff that he didn't have, food and stuff, because they had bought out meats and this and that. And when he did have his money and he got to the store, that stuff wasn't available. And I think about, he's just an isolated case. That's an isolated case, but when you look at the whole of things, and how many seniors we have in this country that actually probably went through the same thing that this guy did, and the killing part is that our seniors have been through so much that they're not gonna complain about anything. This guy was going to deal with it. However it came, he was going to deal with it because he really didn't want to tell me that he didn't have certain stuff. And I think that it's really, really crazy that we going through this period where people are so selfish. First of all, I'm still trying to get the understanding of what toilet paper has got to do with the coronavirus, because as many of these news shows that I listen to and all the information that I've researched, it never says anything about the coronavirus causing diarrhea. So I'm trying to figure out what the connection is with the toilet paper. If somebody out there finds out, let me know. But moving right along, we take care of Mr. Patterson, and I go back to the Christian aspect. And Christians are acting just as crazy as everybody else. I mean, my son and I, we were in the grocery store, and there was a lady shopping. And I guess because I have these crosses on my neck, she automatically assumed that, this guy's a Christian, and she was a Christian, I guess. So she started up this Christian conversation, which I really wanted to tell her, hey, that, they probably, I'll leave that, but they probably wear crosses in Satan camps and all that. So you can't just judge what you see. But anyway, she approached me from a Christian perspective, and she started talking to me about, she had a cart full of groceries too. And she started talking to me about the world ending. And I listened to her. And she was making all these points and trying to convince me that the world was getting ready to end. And I just listened to her. So when she finished, I just kind of asked her, if you know me, I talk to everybody, and basically there's nobody I won't talk to. So I'm listening to her, and I know I'll have my chance to talk. So I'm just waiting. And when she finished, I said, well, okay, you're a Christian, right? She said, yeah. I said, so if the world is ending, what's all the grocery in the cart for? I said, did God tell you that there was a shortage on food in heaven? And she got mad at me, and she, walked away. Never spoke to me again. Pushed the cart on, threw her head up. She was mad at me. But this is my problem with this. We always tell people, when people are going through things, we trying to comfort them, and we give them the word, that God will supply all our needs, and He's our strength, He's the light, He is the way, and this and that. And we don't believe half of that if you really look at our actions, because here it is, to my thinking, if the world's about to end, then if I'm a Christian, guess what? Bonus, because I go to heaven, right? Okay, that should be the Christian train of thought, but it's not. They just as panicky. We just as panicky out here as everybody else, and that's shameful. But it's like people really don't believe in God. But I want to point something out today, and hopefully you'll get just how amazing God really is. Because you know what? We don't have to deal with the Bible, even though that's what I believe in. But I'm going to tell you, for the people that don't believe in God, they believe in something else, hopefully you believe in something, because trust me, all of these miracles and all of these things that have happened and all these things that are happening even right now, miraculous things, somebody had to do them. Man couldn't do them. Man couldn't do them. And I'm gonna tell you something at the end of this video in a couple minutes that will actually astound you if you really, really think about it. But the first thing I want to tell you is, okay, now people don't believe that there is a God. Some people don't believe that there is a God. Some people don't believe that God cares. Some people don't believe that He's in this. And as I said on another video, the earth stands in mid-space, suspended on its axis, and it spins. None of us ever gets dizzy. And it's sitting there on nothing. On nothing. I can't see man producing that. I can't see man making a seed that'll go in the ground from nothing. See, God made His seeds from nothing. Now, man makes seeds, but he make them from the seeds that God already had here. He had something to start with. God didn't start with anything. The sun and the moon still come and go on the same rotation that they did from day one when He told them what they was. See, because the sun was sitting up somewhere, didn't even know what his purpose was, didn't even know what it was. And He said, let there be light. Oh, that's you, son. So go get up there. Okay, and guess what? It ain't never disobeyed Him. It's just doing the same thing that it's been doing ever since the day that He told it to. But a lot of people don't believe in the fact that, the grass grows from the ground. You never see grass coming from the sky. None of this stuff, the seasons come. Even though the seasons are being confused right now, the seasons come in the same rotation all the time. All this stuff is in perfect order. But you won't believe me because of that. But I'm going to tell you something that's so miraculous that should make you get down on your knees and pray sometime to somebody. I don't care, because that's between you and the Creator. At the end of the day, at the end of our life, that's between you and the Creator who designed all this, that will judge you on whether you believe or not. But think about this. I know some of you heard this is science, right? In science, it says that if the earth moved a certain distance, if the sun moved a certain distance closer to the earth, and it's about 1 mile or less, that we would all burn up. If it moved 1 mile back, we would all freeze. And there's some, those are factual things. Those are factual things. Now think about it. The sun has stayed suspended in the same place so that those two things don't happen. They've never happened, right? But think about this. Now, wouldn't you think that because the sun is hot, if the sun moved closer to us, right? Okay, now, we just established, and if you do the research, you can establish it for yourself, that we would burn, right? But think about this. This is just mind-boggling, because God did so many of these things like this that, it just blows your mind. We just established that if the sun comes closer to us, we freeze, we burn up, right? If you go closer to the sun If you left the earth, if you could jump this high, say if you could jump 40,000 feet, that would put you 40,000 feet closer to the sun, right? Okay, you can jump 40,000 feet high. You jump 40,000 feet high, guess what? You should burn up by logic, but guess what happens? If you went 40,000 feet up, closer to the sun, you freeze. This is what I'm talking about. Figure that out. If you don't believe there's a God, if you have no other reason, start unraveling some of these mysteries. You tell me why I can go closer to the thing that's hot and get cold, while the thing that's hot comes closer to me and I burn up. You tell me, unravel that mystery for me. And when you do, hit me on my Facebook page so I'll know too. Have a great day.